Hey guys, what is up? We are in the living room today. But today we are diving into Jeff Lewis. If you don't know who he is a Bravo celebrity, currently has a reality show called Hollywood House Lift, and he's also a radio host, has his own channel on Sirius. The reason why Jeff is a topic of discussion today is because so many people have a lot of opinions about his personal life, the recent scandal or ongoing scandal with his ex, Gage Edward. So if you didn't know about Jeff's relationship history, he does have an ex named Gage Edward, who he shares a 7-year-old daughter with. They share custody. Long story short, over the holidays, Gage wanted to take their 7-year-old daughter to Mexico. Now, according to Jeff, he was perfectly fine with their daughter going on this vacation because he didn't want her to miss out on an opportunity to go on vacation to Mexico. There became an issue when Gage wouldn't provide a lot of basic details about where their daughter would be staying. Now, because of this severe toxic relationship between the two, they communicate through their attorneys. And at the end of the day, Jeff did know where his daughter would be staying. He knew all the basic details. And the only reason why he was left out of the loop earlier on is because Gage, he wasn't obligated or legally obligated to tell Jeff where their daughter would be staying at the time Jeff asked. Does that make any sense? Because the two communicate through their lawyers, whatever legal obligations they had, Gage still fulfilled that because he didn't have to tell Jeff anything, any information at that time when Jeff asked where their daughter would be staying. Feel me? Hey guys, editing me here. So another thought that came to my mind just now while I was editing the video was, Jeff complained that Gage, he wasn't forthcoming with all the details about where he would be taking their daughter when they went to Mexico, right? Well, to me, I'm just thinking, because we're going to get into exploitation, but if I was Jeff's ex, I wouldn't tell Jeff anything until I absolutely had to, which Gage did. You know, Gage and Jeff have this agreement that if they're going to go on vacation or take their daughter anywhere, it sounds like this is the agreement, that, you know, each party needs to be notified 5 days prior, which Gage did. Now, if I was Gage, why would I tell Jeff anything? Because anything I tell Jeff, he's just going to talk about and use as content for the show anyways, right? So I thought I would add that in there as just another thought piece, why would I tell you until I absolutely had to? All right, anyways, back to the video. But before they left to go to Mexico, Gage did, 5 days, I believe, prior, did tell Jeff exactly all the information, all the details he needed to know. Now, Jeff's worries came into play when there was a possibility that Gage would extend the trip, meaning their daughter would be hanging out in Mexico on days where it was Jeff's turn. So Jeff wasn't having it. Jeff was like, there's been plenty of times where I've asked Gage, hey, even though we have this agreement of when you have our daughter, you know, I want to have our daughter this weekend for yada, yada, yada. And although Jeff does say that there were times where Gage agreed, majority of the times when Jeff would ask for their daughter, Gage would say no majority of those times. The reason why so many people are talking about this is because they feel sorry for the 7-year-old kid. Let's be real. Jeff Lewis is exploiting his own child for views, for content. I can give you already off the top of my head 2 ways in which Jeff Lewis has exploited his 7-year-old daughter. There was a moment on the show where he brought up the fact that when his daughter would go to the bathroom and do number 2, that she didn't like to wipe her bottom. Why is it, the fact that I just said that on camera right now, why are you sharing that? To me, that's exploitation. What happens when kids at school tease her about not wiping her bottom? Oh my gosh, look at you for not wiping your bottom. That's ridiculous. The fact that wasn't even a thought to bring to the table that morning, that day, it's ridiculous. And then the other time, off the top of my head, I can think of is when he's having a conversation. He shares with us on the radio that his daughter came up to him. They had a conversation about whether or not she would be into girls or if she would be into guys. And she basically told Jeff that she doesn't know. She may be into girls, you know? And I just thought to myself, 7-year-olds cannot give you consent to share that. Now, for all I know, I don't know anybody here. So for all I know, she could be going to school, shouting it through the rooftops. I don't know. But the problem is we don't know. So I find it really absurd to me that he sits there on his platform and just exploits the hell out of his child for views, for money. And I guess you could possibly make the argument that his exploitation equals money and money pays the bills, but he doesn't need to do that because he currently has his own reality show right now, which doesn't involve exploiting his child, period. And the thing is, I understand that this is his job. He walks into the studio and he talks about his life. People care about his daughter, his parenting, etc. People care about his ex. But there's a way where you can talk about the things that are going on in your personal life without having to exploit your child in the process, period. Now we're going to get back to Jeff Lewis and his custody battle, but a name that comes up in this drama, everyone loves her for the most part, is Daily Dose of Donna. If you don't know who she is a content creator. She's a TikToker, YouTuber, all the good things. And the reason why she comes to topic is because she gets a lot of viewers, and she did discuss this topic recently. She is criticized for being a Jeff Lewis apologist, and I kind of believe that she is. But anyways, she recently made this statement on her live stream. Take a listen.
However, I do believe, and I know you'll say Donna's a Jeff apologist, but I only know Jeff's side. And Jeff is so clear when he oversteps or does something wrong. But from what he's saying, I do believe that Jeff does have those best interest at heart. Tell me if you disagree. This is where we're having these conversations. I do believe that Jeff truly does love Monroe so much, and he really, really wants her to be happy and to be in a good situation. However, he has a very large, what's another word for ego? He basically has he's very, he needs to be right. Jeff needs to kind of win. And he's very competitive. And I think that this is going to be very, very hard for him because he's dealing with essentially someone that is not willing to in any way meet him in the middle.
Jeff has his daughter's best interest at heart. I disagree, and here is why. Honestly, guys, I'm not a parent, so I know all the people can come for me. How dare you have an opinion about anything? If you're not a mother, you're not struggling and all this stuff. Like I get it. I'm a viewer looking from the outside, and this is my opinion. My opinion is that I don't think those two can exist. I don't think you can prioritize exploiting the crap out of your daughter and be like, oh, I think, he wants the best interest for his daughter. If that was the case, you wouldn't be using all the personal stories that you have between her and saying it on your show like it's content, using it like it's a show. Her life is not a show. She did not sign up for this. She didn't give you consent for you to talk about her sexuality and who she likes and who she doesn't like. She didn't give you consent to sit there and talk about her teachers. She didn't give you consent to talk about how she doesn't like to wipe her bottom when she's pooping out number 2. Make it make sense. I disagree that when you're putting your child on a pedestal, a pedestal the child didn't ask to be, the 7-year-old that can't give consent, when you do that to a person, to a child, to a minor, I do not believe at that current moment you are having the best interest of your child, period. So I do disagree with her. I disagree severely. I still watch her, love her. This isn't to hate on Daily Dose of Donna, but I have to disagree because there's a lot of people that actually think like her as well. And I will say, for people like Jeff, he's going to be the reason why there's going to be laws. There's going to be laws in place to where you can't just talk and say shit about your child without them giving you consent. They can't give you the consent. So yes. So yeah, that's my little rant about that, but let's get back to the custody issues with Jeff. Although Jeff eventually found out all the details about where his daughter would be staying and all that, there was a possibility that the vacation would be extended and their daughter would be spending the days that was supposed to be Jeff's days with Gage. Apparently the reason is that Gage is allotted 7 vacation days with their daughter. So Jeff thought that Gage would try to use that and be like, okay, well, this is a vacation day with our daughter, so I'm going to extend the vacation. I got really deep to where Jeff was like, I'm going to have to call the police for legal reasons if he doesn't return our daughter on time. It all worked out though. Jeff was able to spend New Year's with his daughter. His daughter was returned safe and sound. Everything is good. Now, I really do believe Jeff did take advantage of the fact that he has a platform that, you know, those people listening definitely did reach out to Gage and was like, hey, you better return your daughter in time. You better do that. I'm sure Gage, Jeff's ex, was definitely harassed with that. But overall, for a child, the whole thing is just sad to hear. I mean, Jeff and Gage can't get along. They have to communicate with their attorneys. It's so bad that Jeff claims that he spent like $30,000 for his attorney bills in December alone. Apparently, his attorney charges $1,000 per hour. So, future career, be a divorce attorney, because apparently you get to charge $1,000 an hour. But anyways, those are my thoughts about this situation. It's not going to get any better. Hopefully they're able to have a mediator if they haven't already, or a judge will come in and kind of just be like, this is what's going to happen. You have the daughter on this days, and then you can have your child on the other days, and it's just permanent, and that's that. But anyways, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching. And ooh, I'm going to drink my wine. I started to drink it, and I was like, I can't, like, you know, sip and then talk. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon on the next video. Bye guys.